Welcome to Rick's Corner, brought to you by Old School Labs, the brand I trust and the only one I put my name to. Use my code drasin12 on the link below.
Welcome to Rick's Corner. The man, the myth, the legend. Now on with the show.
Welcome to Rick's Corner. I got John Hart, Mr. America here again, and we've always got something to talk about. We're going to talk about you, your training, your diet, how you recover, how much effort you put into it, and what you're getting out of it. Okay, begin.
Yes.
Now, I noticed that several people in my gym train every day.
Yes.
They're on the treadmill, they're walking around, a lot of them are just talking. And over the period of years, none of them have made any progress.
Yeah. A lot of them, Rick, a lot of them are still doing the same things.
They are. Talking.
Talking. So some of them, they never had intensity in the first place, right? They never did. But you belong to a bunch of guys that, man, you were making progress.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's the group that I'm really interested in. The talkers, we know that they've always been talking. They were never making progress. They were never going anywhere in the first place. So it's still social as it's always been.
Yeah.
But what about you? What about the guys you were training with? What about, the bodybuilders of that time? And even now, as we find ourselves, I'm 54 now.
Geez, you're old, man.
I hope that everybody out there gets to be 54 and continues to train hard. It's fun. But the adjustment, just like we were talking about you and your career, how you've adjusted things, no longer, out on a mat, right? Wrestling all the time, but you now have different aspects of your career that you excel in.
Well, let me say something about that.
Yeah.
Because wrestling itself took a lot of determination, it took a lot of work and a lot of pain, and I had to do it 5 days a week for training. Privately with Johnny May Young, because there were no wrestling schools back then, and they were stiff and they would hurt you just to make sure you could take it. But I just turned my mind on that I'm going to do this and go through it like I would a workout.
Yes.
Then I'd come home and I'd hit the gym, and I'd drive 120 miles downtown LA to train and come back to Bakersfield 120 miles and go to the gym. But I wanted it. And so when I moved to Venice and I fell in with a group down there, everybody trained hard. And somebody asked me today, they said, did you guys have music in the gym back in the day? I said, no, Joe Gold would not allow it.
No.
Didn't have music. He said it was distracting, we don't need it. Some guy brought in a portable radio and he threw them out.
Yeah.
But the intensity was there, and we didn't know how to not to train hard. Yes, I went heavy. Yes, I did supersets and all that kind of stuff, and it made good progress for me. But as you get older, you have to change things around. Like you said, you make changes.
Have to be willing to make changes. So I just did a talk on my channel about men over 50 and how, I made the title, should train once every 3 to 5 days. But I didn't mean go to the gym once every 3 to 5 days. I was talking about after you get past that, I'm arbitrarily, but as we get past that 50-ish age, recovery isn't as good from those really hard workouts, right?
Yeah.
So how do you start to account for that, and yet you still want to make progress? Maybe you still do want better delts, or you want better biceps still, and you want to make some progress in certain body parts. It's not just about just feeling good. Even at 50, 55, you want to have a nice summer body. You want to drop body fat and get in shape, but still have muscles, right?
Yeah.
So what do? You no longer can pull the trigger every single time in the gym. So go ahead and do some pump workouts, a couple of them in a row, and then today you got it. Like Franco used to say, when you got it, go for it.
Yeah, you can do that. I go every day, and I don't do as many sets. I don't go as heavy.
There's an adjustment, right?
I had to do back yesterday. I had to go to the doctor, so I wanted to squeeze a workout in, so I went down to the gym. It's only 5 minutes from here. Mm-hmm. And I got a 30-minute back workout, 20 sets. Now, that sounds like a lot of sets. Mm-hmm. And I don't wait more than 15 seconds between sets, but I don't go heavy.
You move.
I mean, I could probably use another twice that weight if I really wanted to go heavy. But I don't need to go heavy. I feel it. And it responds from that. And the recovery time is better because I'm not killing myself.
Right.
So I'm really not worried about getting bigger. People say, oh, you don't look like you did when you were 30. Well, neither do you.
Nobody does.
And nobody does. And I don't care. I've been there, done that. Nothing to prove. As long as I look good at my age now and I look fit,
Right.
I don't have to be huge. But someone will say, gee, you're in good shape. You must work out every day.
Right.
Yes, that's good enough for me.
Right.
But you can, right now with my leg injury, I'm having a difficult time doing legs. They don't want me to because it tends to make it bleed. So I go every day and I just interchange body parts. Like back yesterday, today I did arms. Tomorrow I'll probably do shoulders. And I'll do 20 sets of each. Now today on arms, because you use your arms every day, I did 2 exercises for bicep, 4 sets, so there's 8, and then 3 for tricep, so there's 12 sets. Heavy? No. I've been using the Vince Taylor grips, by the way, Vince, and I really like those little balls. They just work really well. Yeah. So I get a good workout, nice little pump, and then I leave. But I don't think I need more than that.
But now you're 74. So when you were, let's say 20 years ago, around 54.
Yeah.
Did you notice that your recovery had started to change at that point? Did you notice that you needed to take a couple of days extra here and there during the week where you weren't going necessarily balls out? I'm just asking about your evolution. How did you get to this point?
I don't really remember because I always trained hard and I always slept good. I don't have a sleeping issue. I can go to bed at 11 o'clock and straight through I'll sleep.
That's nice.
Where some people are up all night long, and I get phone calls from people 3 in the morning that say, well, I'm up, why aren't you? Why would I be? I like my rest, and I think it's very important. An afternoon nap for 20 minutes doesn't hurt either.
Right.
But the other key to that is what you eat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I just left a restaurant where I go frequently, and I had a double scoop of tuna salad, West Coast salad with a little sesame dressing. Man, that's a good high-protein lunch.
Right.
And it tasted great.
Well, speaking of what you need to have, that's the other thing. It's already been scientifically proven that men, as we age and we're still training, we actually have to still focus on the protein.
Yeah.
Okay, the protein aspect, it's the absorption of the protein. Remember a few shows back we talked about having enzymes, digestive enzymes, and being able to, Vince Gironda was big on that, remember back in the day? And being able to break down that protein. The ability to break down the protein is what changes because the enzyme production isn't as high as we age. So it's so important to be able to absorb the protein. So being willing to make changes with your workouts as the decades are going by, that's the first thing. But then also, so you can't go 6 days a week banging away all the time. You'll tear up your shoulders, tear up your knees and all that stuff.
Oh,
your
yeah.
muscles will tear.
Oh, yeah.
But then the other thing is adjusting the diet. So, you know, when you get 50s, 60s, 70s, you don't need as many carbs that kind of sit in you, especially later on in the day. But the protein and the fats end up being more important.
I totally agree with you. On the tuna salad, they get avocado, which is really good as far as fats go. I'm not a big carb eater lately. I haven't had much of a diet or appetite because of the antibiotic I'm on. So I eat smaller meals, and will it keep my weight down? Most likely it will because I'm not that hungry. But I'm okay with that. It doesn't. I don't have to weigh 240. I'm at 220, which is actually too much. But I will have once in a while, like I go to Starbucks and I'll get a coffee, I'll get this little cinnamon coffee cake, which is just absolutely delicious. And if I have it in the morning after I work out, that's basically putting glycogen back into my muscle.
Right.
So it's not going to kill me. And then from the rest of the day on, it's all good dieting. And that's the hardest part for friends of mine that say they want to lose weight. But I just can't drop the carbs. You know, they eat French fries and bread and all this stuff, and I just won't sit down and order French fries.
Right.
I'll have a few of somebody else's, but for me to order an order of it, I feel so guilty that I'm stuffing that stuff inside of me. It's got to go in there and it's going to stick to something.
Well, that's the number one rule, right? If you don't order it, you won't eat the whole thing, right?
Exactly.
You pick off someone else's plate,
exactly.
And that's the difference, you know.
And mashed potatoes and gravy, I used to kid my dad about that. I said, Dad, this stuff reminds me of wallpaper paste. Put it on there, you can stick your paper up. Sure, I'm sure it's good, but to me, it has no value at all.
Right. Well, the main thing overall is that, like we were talking about, you know, when I came by earlier, being willing to make changes right now, right? As we go, whether it's in your career, with your eating, with your exercise.
Yeah.
I'm doing it myself to where I still can train very hard. I still can lift, you know, some big weights relative to me for myself. Okay, so I'm still able to, without injuries to my knees, my shoulders. I take care of those things, and I do, like you, get great rest. However, how often do I do super high intensity techniques? How often do I use those things? That's being reduced as I look at my schedule over the course of a month, over the course of 2 or 3 months. I do it less often. Still go to the gym, train to positive failure, but those days are more, whereas the days that are super, super high intensity end up being less.
Yeah. Well, when I was back in those days training, I had a definite routine of chest and back on Monday and Thursday, shoulders and arms on Tuesday and Friday, legs on Wednesday and Saturday, which always worked well. It always worked well, and I would do 2 body parts together. Now, as time moves on, I had a couple of injuries, and I'm getting older, I just take 1 body part. I just don't feel like hanging in the gym for an hour and a half. So I can get done in 30 to 40 minutes and do my cardio. And I base my cardio on how hard I work out as far as time. So I'll rest 15 seconds between sets. So it's a cardio weight workout. I don't need to do the treadmill.
Man, forget it. You don't need it.
No, don't need it. And so 1 body part and then 100 crunches, and I'm out of there. And it seems to work well. I don't need any more than that. And I don't go light, and I don't go heavy. I just do a medium, and I do 7 to 12 reps.
Now tell me this. Back in the day, I'm doing a little interview of Rick at the moment.
Fine.
Back in the day, okay, I remember sitting in the office at World Gym, okay, in Marina Del Rey, talking with Eddie when he was, managing World Gym.
Yeah.
And Eddie Giuliani. And he told me, of course, I was always picking his brain. So one day I asked him, okay, really, did you guys train all year round, 6 days a week, and that whole twice a day thing? And he said to me, surprisingly, he said, no. He goes, no, Arnold didn't all the time. No, we had a period where, before contest, that was twice a day, for most days of the week, and 6 days a week. But he said, 4 or 5 days a week, we'd go and train basic and hard and heavy, and it was a little bit more relaxed, right? And then, of course, he went off on a side note, a little fun side story for you right here, is that he said, and he goes, interestingly enough, Arnold was never so wrapped up in looking contest ready year round. And he goes, we'd work out, and he'd bring 2 or 3 t-shirts or sweatshirts or tank tops, and he goes, and then he'd walk into the office and he'd take off the shirt, and everybody in the gym would look.
Oh yeah.
To see what he looked like, right?
He was so thick. Thick.
They'd look, and he'd stop, he'd go, get a good look. It's not stage ready yet, but it will be. It will
But he still looked good even at that.
Yeah.
I went on a commercial audition with him, and he says, I'm going to go to this store while you go in, and I'll meet you at the car. I said, okay. And I see him walking up the street with his short sleeve button-down shirt, a pair of shorts, and flip-flops, and he just looked like an elephant walking up the street, with his pecs hanging out and his big legs and all. I mean, he looked massive. And back in those days, most people never looked like that. So you talk about attracting attention, but the twice-a-day workout wasn't basically more than, say we did chest and back on Monday morning, he'd go back in the afternoon and do calves.
I was going to say calves and abs, but to get cut up, right? I mean, kicked up the metabolism, you drop the carbs down, right?
Yeah, and that was basically it. There wasn't really any cardio, as I mentioned before, but we'd go 7 days without carbs, and Sunday we could have a junk day. And someone asked out there, do you eat junk all day long? No, it's usually just a dinner meal. And Ken Waller would eat it all day long. He'd have pizza and ice cream all day until his belly's ready to protrude and get away with it because the one day is not going to kill you.
He had a super fast metabolism as well.
Well, by Tuesday he was back down again. You can't, Zabo told me once, he says, you can have a cheat day in the middle. He says, it's not going to kill you. You're going to go back to the gym the next day anyway. So if you want to have a little something to eat. Eddie lived on eggs. He was always eating eggs.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, he ate a lot of eggs. He was in great shape.
Yeah, I've seen some of the pictures.
Oh, yeah.
It's fantastic. I mean, even now he's in great shape. I'm just saying.
A lot of people don't know this, but Joe Gold competed in bodybuilding as well.
Really?
For those that don't know who Joe Gold is, I've done this a million times. He's the one who had opened and operated the original Gold's Gym that's named after him, Joe Gold. And he opened it for his buddies on the beach to train inside because of the weather conditions.
Right.
He had a cinder block building he built, and he put all the equipment, built all the equipment, and everybody off the beach, including Steve Reeves and all the guys, came there to train. And Joe also wrestled pro for a while. He and Zabo and a few guys hit the ropes.
Wow.
Because the wrestlers would come to the gym, and they kind of got him into the business to work a couple of shows.
Wow.
And they just did it for fun. But a lot of people don't know that. And that gym was a private gym. I mean, not private, but it was a...
It's a house now.
It was made, it's a house now. It's made for his buddies, and he charged $40 a year to work out there. And if he didn't have the $40, he said, all right, so go ahead anyway, pay me later.
One of the greatest guys.
Oh, yeah.
To me, one of the greatest guys. They always say that if he gave you a nickname, that you knew you were in with him.
Oh, he had nicknames for everybody.
So I was Spike, because I used to have spiky hair.
They called me the Sun-Kissed Kid because Rick Drasin Raisin.
It was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah. But everybody had intensity in their training. When you walk into that gym, you want to train.
Yeah.
Now, I go into Gold's North Hollywood where I train, and I love this gym. It's just as close to that as it can possibly be. And you have your serious people. Then you have those who just hang out and just want to talk. And they start to talk to me when I walk in. I say, excuse me, I just walked in the gym, and you're not my wife.
Oh.
That's just why I don't have one, because I don't want to talk.
Now, is it true? I hear they have great motivational pictures on the wall over there. Is that true?
They did.
They did?
Yeah.
What do they have now?
They had a picture of me back in the day and Albert Beckles and a girl named Denise Messino. And I guess some of the members, or one member complained that, why am I not up there? One trainer, and he called the corporate, and the corporate said, we never approved that.
Huh?
The manager did it, but the corporate didn't, so the corporate took them down.
Wow.
Now they've had 3,000 emails and complaints to put them back up. They were inspired by them. So if they're going to, I don't know. I hear a different story every time I walk in that
Now,
gym.
which one has your picture up there now?
North Hollywood.
Yeah.
I had it up there.
Oh.
It's a good picture, too.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
But
wow.
it, I don't know if they put them back. There's no reason not to. Everybody said they were motivated by them, and you'd walk in the gym to train and say, those are the guys right there on the wall.
Very
right here.
cool.
They're still here 30 years later.
That's right. Very cool. The corporate gyms have been killing everything, man. It's been changing everything.
Yeah.
It's been changing everything. Finding a hardcore spot. I'm at Foothill Gym in Monrovia. I live in the area out there, but I train people there, and then I work out there quite often. And it's owned by a hardcore bodybuilder, Brian Whelan. He won the Masters, Mr. Ireland. And so they bring that element, There's some hardcore pictures around the gym, but it's a little family gym, but it's a little down and dirty too. We get a little,
I like it like that.
Yeah, get a little energy going in there,
Yeah.
man.
My first gym I worked out was a YMCA in Bakersfield, and everything was broken and bent, and the weights are falling off, the collars, but I had my best workouts.
That's right.
I made it happen. They had a pull-down machine, but the cable was all sticking out where it was frayed, and you go down past your stomach, and the wires would cut you. And then they had a calf machine with this piston hanging with the weights, and it would sway back and forth and hit you in the shins as you're doing calf. But I remember those things. They had an incline bench that came out of a health spa, and the vinyl was cracked. And every time I do concentration curls over the top of that, it would cut my arm open.
Right.
So, but you still got through it, and you still did it, and you still made your progress. And everybody in school, when I was when I was in high school, they said, well, "Why do you want to do that? That's stupid. Why do you want to work out? Why do you want to get big? You're going to turn to fat at 20." And now I've made a name for myself, and I didn't turn to fat, and everybody around me got fat and old because they allowed it. And I just did a segment on getting old. You're only as old as you want to be. If you want to think young and you want to feel young, then you will be young. And you need to take care of yourself. Not only just working out, you don't have to be a bodybuilder, as I discussed, but if you eat right and you exercise and you put lotion on your skin so it doesn't dry out, and I told on the show I clean my teeth once a week with baking soda and salt. So some guy writes in, you only brush your teeth once a week? No, I brush them every day, but I just use the baking soda and salt.
Idiot.
Yeah, why would you even ask a question like that? I get pedicures, which a lot of guys look down on because they think it's gay, but it's not. I get my toenails in good shape and then clean the cuticle, and I don't like to look at them because I had a fungus, so I said paint them a different color. I don't want to look at them.
Oh, wow.
But it feels good. And massage your feet and all that.
And then you get out in the sun a little bit, right? Just a little.
I haven't lately, no, because I get skin cancer.
Well, I was going to say, it's not good to be out there, of course. You know this now.
But I retain color for some reason. I think somewhere in my past someone was Indian.
Well, they say being out there just a little bit exposing yourself is good to get that the vitamin D and
this
the natural.
This time of year, now it's raining and cloudy every day here lately in LA. But if you can get out around 11 o'clock to 12 in January and February and March, the rays aren't really hot, but they're enough to tan you really nice.
Yeah.
It's like a slow bake. I want to take advantage of that when the time comes. Right now, I'd be sitting out in clouds with raindrops on me.
Well, yeah, this is terrible weather. For us, this is terrible weather. Okay, rain, cold. This is a little Arctic blast,
it's
right?
ridiculous.
So we have a whole other thing going on out here. But even so, you get your workouts in, right?
I was just going to say that because the streets out here get flooded. The drainage system's horrible. These streets down here look like rivers when you're driving through them, but I still get to the gym.
Right. It's
on
not
a
built
cane,
for drainage.
on a cane for my bad leg.
Right.
And I look around and the gym is half empty because no one wants to go out. And even if I have an appointment, like I had a doctor's appointment yesterday at 11:15, my nurse came, she was done by 10 to 10. I wanted her to come earlier. But it gave me time to go to the gym and hit a back workout, so I worked it in. Where most people say, "Oh, screw it, I'll just go to the doctor." Nope, I got it done.
Wow.
And I was glad to get it done, and I didn't really have to force myself. It's something I wanted to do. I have never, ever lost, over the 50 years I've trained or longer, 55 years, I have never lost my enthusiasm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way. I love working out.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I mean, when I do it, it's early in the morning. I like not having to think about anything else first.
Yeah.
I love getting up, going in the dark, man. The rest of the world's sleeping. I'm at a gym or at my garage. I have a good home gym.
Yeah.
I mean, I do it like that, and it's
Yeah.
just fantastic.
Yeah, it invigorates you.
rush.
You get your mind working. It's part of getting my mind and body together to work. When I get up in the morning, all my body parts are laying in bed, and I look down at my legs and feet and hands and arms and say, okay, everybody up.
That's it. Hey, speaking of when you mentioned the rain and the floods, you know, one of the earliest gyms that I ever belonged to was an old bodybuilder, Steve Mihalik.
Yeah.
He owned the Mr. America's Body Shop in Farmingdale, Long Island. So I'm from that area, and so I used to work out there as a teen. I was a little boy working out there, and the winters were so severe, okay? And he would come, he literally would walk to the gym. If the snow was that deep, he still would walk there. We knew he'd be there because he was that hardcore still. Mm-hmm. He'd get to the gym, he'd open it up. It was his thing, you know, he needed it. It was mental therapy for him. Now he was, of course, off the deep end, you know, he
Right.
Great guy to me, you know, but some people, you know, if he didn't like you, well...
Oh, you're going to think this is really silly and really obsessive, but I was in the gym up in Northridge, and I dropped a 65-pound dumbbell on my finger, putting it back in the rack, and it split my finger open. And the bone was sticking out. And I said, oh, man, now I got to finish my workout. So I wrapped it up. The blood was going down my forearm when I'd hold it up, and I finished about 4 sets of curls and some triceps.
That's it.
And then I went home. But I didn't let it stop my workout.
That's it.
Did it hurt? Yeah, it hurt.
Yeah.
I cut my finger off outside here at a saw, this little finger. People say, what happened to your finger? I cut it off. And the first thing, my son comes out and he brings out ice and a towel, wraps my hand. The first thing that went through my mind is, how am I going to work out tomorrow?
Yeah. It's going to affect your pulling movements, pull down, chin-ups, all that stuff, curls.
Yeah. But it worked out, and I did go to the gym the next day with a mitt on my hand, and I never had any pain. It was fine.
Yeah.
So there's ways around everything. If you're determined and you want to look good and you want to stay in shape, and there's ways to do it. Don't let yourself get old. I hear guys at 40 tell me how old they're getting, and they're getting bellies, and they're getting gray hair, and they're getting wrinkled, and it's all part of life, but you can deal with it to an extent. I mean, collagen I take every day for my skin. This stuff's working really well. I don't worry about gray hair. I got white hair, so that's okay. And my wrinkles are few. I've been blessed with good skin on my mom's side of the family, so that's okay. And everything's functioning.
Well, and like we were saying, being willing to adjust along the way. As time passes, you know, even if you say, I'm not going to compete anymore, I'm not going to be a competitive body-showing wrestler any longer. Pick it, whatever it is.
Right.
You still can keep what got you in it in the first place, that enthusiasm. Adjust your workouts, make the proper adjustments to your diet, stay lean, don't get fat. This is one of the worst things you can do, is just give it all up. When you're in your 50s or your 60s, you say, I need a break from all that. You put that fat on, it ain't coming off anytime soon, okay? I'm telling you that right now. So it's going to be a real bitch trying to get it off. So I have clients too. I tell them, stay lean. Stay lean. It's the best thing you can do. You know, build some quality muscle. It's the best.
There's time when you have to stop doing some things. I still have my wrestling ring in the backyard, and I run classes. I haven't lately, but I'd get in there and show some guys some moves and move around. I'm not going to take big bumps anymore. I just don't want to. I probably could, but why torture myself out there for nothing? But I still stay active in that end of it, and if that ring ever goes out of my yard, that's part of me that goes too, because it's part of my life.
Right.
So you've got, you know, the gyms and that, and that's made me what I am, and my artwork and all that, and I got to stay busy with that kind of stuff. And as long as you're busy and you got a goal and you got somewhere to go and someone to meet and something to do, you're going to be fine.
Yeah. Well, man, I'll tell you, I really appreciate you having me on your show today. And can I mention my channel as well?
You should mention your channel as well.
YouTube, Mr. America Heart, HEART. So 3 words, space in between. Mr. America Heart. Can you put it across the screen for me?
I will do that.
Done. Thank you. Come visit me.
That reminds me of the 3 words. My doctor told me a joke yesterday. This man was in a bar, and the lady of the evening came over up to him, and she starts talking to him, and she says, I'll do anything you want for $50. Anything you want, if you can say it in 3 words. So he says, paint my house. I thought that was a good one. All right, you guys, thanks for watching Rick's Corner. Thank you, John, for being here. Hope you got some value out of this conversation, because we did.
Yeah, this is fun.
And see you all next time.
Sir.
Hope you enjoyed the video brought to you by Old School Labs. Use my discount code DRASIN12 on the link below at oldschoollabs.com.
Hey everyone, now you can have the Gold's Gym logo drawn by me, the artist Rick Drasin, personalized and made out to you and signed by me to frame and put on your gym wall or wherever you see fit to do so. It's a piece of bodybuilding history. It will never be duplicated again. It's the largest selling icon t-shirt logo in the world, and I'm the guy that drew it, and I will draw it for you. Just go to my website, rickdrasin.com, and order there. You can pay through PayPal, and it'll be sent out right away. And be sure to watch Rick's Corner for all the videos on bodybuilding, nutrition, fitness, pro wrestling, and anything that suits your interest as far as getting physically fit and being the best you can be from the golden era of bodybuilding.
It's Rick Drasin. He's the equalizer, baby. See you next time.